In this video, I'm going to show you how to become an ice wizard. And ice wizardry is very, very strong. Like, I killed this wolf in one frozen blade. That was pretty damn cool. It's one of my favorite spells. This is the Adula's Moonblade. And we're also using a very interesting weapon, the Death Poker, as well in this build, which I'm going to show you how that works right now. So this, when you use the Ash of War, and you use an attack while you're using the Ash of War, you can make this black flame that somehow freezes enemies to death. So even though it looks like fire, it's actually cold. It freezes them. So like you do the Ash of War here, and it's buffed by magic, and when you have the Ash of War and you do like a normal light attack while you have the Ash of War going, and you just keep enemies running in it, they can die. They will burn or freeze to death, just like this. Like it kills pretty much everything. It's actually really, really strong. But of course, one of the stronger things about this build is actually using the Adula's Moonblade. Now, when you take a Wondrous Physic that boosts your magic, you use Terra Magicka, the spell, and the Adula's Moonblade, you hit way too damn hard. Now, the Adula's Moonblade on its own uses a lot of FP, so it's not usable all the time. So instead, you want to sometimes use the Ash of War on the Death Poker, which does some cool stuff, and then swap over to the Adula's Moonblade to like finish off some fights. So for like most bosses and enemies, you're gonna melt them super easily. You're not even gonna have to struggle using this at all. I think one of my favorite showcases of this is using the Death Poker's kind of Ash of War here on like giants and bigger enemies, and just watching their health just melt away. Look at that. It's just gone. It's just melted away, and boom. The bird as well, dead. Just not even worth it. Like, he doesn't even have that much health yet. I just swing my ice sword and boom. He's gone, dude. He's gone. Of course, we also do have Terra Magicka with Comet Azure, which you can buff with magic as well. So if you're trying to, like, just, you know, cheese enemies or bosses or anything that's standing still or is going to be in front of you for a long time, we are heavily built into intelligence, so you can also just laser whatever you want. So you have that option too, from beating things before they even get close to you. Now for this build, you're going to mainly put all your points into intelligence. You do need like 15 dexterity, 15 strength. I also recommend having like 20 faith or something, just so you can use some spells if you want to swap into spells. And other than that, you're not going to put really a lot of points into endurance. You're going to focus on mind. As you can see here with our Death Poker here, it's going to be our main weapon in our main hand. And then we're going to have the Lassad's Glintstone Staff in our second hand, because it's the one that has the highest sorcery scaling. So when we do like our spells and stuff, it's going to benefit the most with the most amount of damage. And you'll need an incredible 52 intelligence to even be able to equip this weapon. We have the Snow Witch hat over here that boosts our cold attacks, our cold magic attacks, which is fantastic. The rest of the armor is just to look cool. You can use it to get into medium load, heavy load, whatever kind of equipment load that you want. For our talismans, we have the Shard of Alexander that greatly boosts the attack power of skills from our Death Poker, that Black Flame. It works really well. Then we have the Carrion Filigreed Crest, which lowers the FP cost of those skills, so that Black Flame is going to be cheaper to use. Then we have the Magic Scorpion Charm that raises our magic attack but makes us take more damage, but still incredibly boosts all of our attacks that use the magic, which is everything. Then we have the Graven Mass Talisman that greatly increases the potency of our sorceries, which are specifically our spells. And then our Wondrous Physic boosts our magic attack, as well as eliminates our FP consumption for just a short time, where you can just unload your lasers or a Duelist Moonblade, anything you want. Now, when you sit down at a Site of Grace and you go to Memorize Spell, this is how you're going to add the spells. The first one we have here is Terra Magicka. This one puts a magic circle on the ground, and when you're standing in it, it boosts all your magic damage and output by a lot. Then we have the Adula's Moonblade, which is the main point of this build, which is a giant sweeping blade. It does the actual slashing damage in front of it, as well as sending an ice slash further ahead. And then, of course, we have Comet Azure, the actual laser beam, which when you take the Wondrous Physic to eliminate all FP consumption, lets you just cast this out and kill whatever's standing in front of you, as long as it's standing in front of the beam. And that's pretty much the build, but the main point is the Death Poker over here. Now this one, when you do the normal Ash of War, it just does that. You actually have to do the Ash of War, and then while it's charging, use the like normal attack to hit it, so that it kind of goes ahead and makes this burning patch on the ground, that when enemies stand in it, they just burn or like freeze to death while burning to death. It's very weird, but Black Flames is pretty damn cool, and this build is very fun to play. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.